It's 1 p.m. This is Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen.
If it was up to me,
nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen alerts.
Proctor, I came across a holotape with a full scan of the Institute's network.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
You mean being zapped into energy and then put back together again? Piece of cake.
You can make jokes all you want, but I wouldn't put so much faith in technology I didn't understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
For all we know, that thing could be a recipe for Deathclaw surprise.
Well, it's the best we could do with such short notice. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxson gave you all of the details? Good luck, Knight.
Good afternoon. You're tuned to Radio Freedom, broadcasting across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
Father has done remarkable things. I would not exist were it not for him.
Father is more than just our leader. He is our creator.
This is Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Stay safe, people.
I wish you could have known Father as we have.
coursers give me the creeps, you know? They seem, I don't know, cold.
Synths aren't human beings, but supposedly they're the future of humanity. I'll never understand it.
It's 3 p.m. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Dr. Lee.
You again. What do you want now? You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
You're the scientist. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, let's see. A Brotherhood of Steel airship arrives in the Commonwealth. You find a way to intercept our teleport signal, and now you show up at my door. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen.
Why would we want you dead?
I did some pretty sensitive work for the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though Lions let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much. That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here.
This is
What does that have to do with why we're
broadcasting
talking?
all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report.
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help. Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know. I'm certainly not going to put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
Deal.
All right. Dr. Virgil's lab was in the Biosciences Division. I can give you a code that will get you into the section, but the lab itself has been sealed, so you'll have to breach it on your own. I'd tell you to be quiet about it, but your Brotherhood and discretion isn't exactly your strong suit. And finally, if you get caught, we never had this conversation.
4 o'clock. You're tuned to Minuteman Radio. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates. This is Radio Freedom. It's 5 p.m. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone. This is Radio Freedom. All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
I want you to appreciate your surroundings, detective. I can only be myself in a place like this. Life up there is exhausting. Every day you smile at people who don't care about you one way or another because that is what you do. Down here, I really get to live. I'm happy to share it with you today, detective.
message to Alexander Strelnikov. My esteemed Mr. Strelnikov, I know someone of your profession values discretion above all else. But I have to honestly say, screw that. I mean, come on. One bullet, halfway across town, and you blew Ron Treviot's head clean off. You, sir, are an artist. Are all the assassins from Russia as good as you? I seriously doubt it. But listen, your secret's safe with me. Eddie Winter, signing off.
Nightera Aslan, Brotherhood of Steel, Recon Team 429 Alpha, serial number 3431. It's been 3 hours since I set my distress pulsar. There's been no word from the Paladin or Ferris. Their objective was a satellite array on the coast. They may be out of range. My orders were to hold this position at all costs. The entire site has been overrun. The door won't last much longer. Paladin Brandis, sir. It's been an honor, sir.
Nikki, you old bucket of bolts, it's Marty. I know it's been a while, but I came across a little mystery I thought might get your circuits firing. You remember that ugly grasshopper statue on top of Faneuil Hall? Turns out it's got a note in it. A note written by the son of one, Shem Drown. I don't expect that name means anything to you, but the guy was a coppersmith. Way back when folks did shit like that. Apparently, this note leads straight to the old guy's stash. I don't know what's in it, but I'd sure like to know if it's still there. I'm gonna go do a little recon on the hall. If you decide you want to get the team back together, you let me know.
Jeffries, Lee got the recorder working.
So this the sort of detail you had in mind when you signed up for the Gunners? Hauling luggage from Linwoods for some robot butler? What was his name? Wellerton? Wallingham?
Not now, Private. Where's Connors? He's not at his post.
Oh, sorry, sir. The lieutenant said he found some tracks. Wanted to check them out. Private Martin.
Tracks? What track? What the hell is that?
Oh my... Connors! Where's the rest of him?
Damn it! Worthless bastards. Scattered like rad roaches the moment they saw their first ghoul. I've spent months prepping for this op. There's no way I'm backing out now. That treasure will be mine. Even if I have to dig it up with my own bare hands.
This is Ferris. It's been 2 hours since the Paladin left. My leg. I can't staunch the bleeding. The bullet must have hit an artery. Brandis, if you get this, I hope you made it back to Aslan in time. There was nothing you could do for me. Get to the bunker up north. You'll survive. That's all that matters.
A nest full of deathclaw eggs. A dozen, maybe more. Smashed to bits. Except this one. No wonder they wouldn't tell us what was in that case. If I'd known, I would have personally told the gunner bosses and that glorified liquor cabinet in Wellingham to take those Diamond City caps and stuff them. I guess we know why that Deathclaw tracked us all the way from Lynn Woods now. We stole our damn kids. Christ. Maybe if we just return the eggs. Oh, hey, Mama.
All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there, people.
Update. Observed unusual activity has ceased. Window is open for a heavy to make contact, but they should act now. The package is still in my possession. It cannot remain here safely for much longer. Out.
Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here
All
for
this
Minutemen
must be a
alerts.
little overwhelming for you.
Dr. Watson can be a little obsessive when it comes to rules and policies.
Dr. Lee.
Took you long enough to find that evidence. Let me see what you've got.
I'm afraid it's bad news.
Since when do you know what I consider bad news? Just let me hear it.
This is Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. It's 6 o'clock. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me.
They lied to me. They lied to me, and I didn't even realize how far it went. All those years of loyalty. For nothing.
Is this enough to convince you?
More than enough. I came to the Institute to get away from the Brotherhood. From the whole world. I just wanted to do my research in peace. Father took me in and gave me access to cutting-edge technology that I only dreamed existed. I became jaded. I thought that the Institute cared, that they wanted to better mankind. Maybe in their own twisted way they still do. But now I realize if you can't trust the people you're working for, then it's all pointless. If they lied about Dr. Virgil, who knows what else they've been lying about? Or what their plans are for my work. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee.
Oh man, if I'm late for bus or one.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen alerts.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Pridwin. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress.
Stay tuned for
Dismissed.
Vertibird docking systems and fusion coolant feed systems reporting green.
Your reconnoiter of the Institute complete. You finally have first-hand knowledge about their facility.
7 p.m. here at Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxton told you about it?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us first. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the capital wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing them back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
My help? I don't know a thing about robot repair.
Why don't we leave the repairing to my scribes? You're going to be doing the legwork. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. And the first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance on the Pridwin, so you'd think it'd be a snap. As much as I hate to admit it, Prime's power systems are out of my league. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
You haven't lived until you tipped a...
It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to Radio Freedom, the voice of the Minutemen. All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
I used to be a field scribe. Deathclaw snapping my femur like a twig put an end to that.
Now that we have intelligence on the Institute, we can use it against them to gain the upper hand.
Hi.
If it looks dead, put one more in its head for good measure. Why take the chance? Oh, God. Mole rat on a stick was a really bad idea.
How can a machine believe
Dr. Lee?
why?
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
One of us is a liar, and it isn't me.
Oh, don't try and pin that nonsense on me. I said I'd come back to the Brotherhood, and I have. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Why won't you help us with Liberty Prime?
I originally left the Brotherhood because I was tired of being stepped on and used. First, there was the Water Purification Project, designed to freely benefit the entire capital wasteland. Even though the Brotherhood allowed it to be activated, they wanted to control it. But that wasn't enough. They forced me to help design Liberty Prime. Turned my work into a weapon of war. I had enough, so I left. It's as simple as that.
If not for the Brotherhood, do it for Dr. Virgil.
Think about what we could accomplish here.
What they did to Dr. Virgil was cruel. It was wrong. How could I be so blind? You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
You look worried. Is something bothering you? I was just thinking that blowing up the Institute won't just destroy all the synths, but all the humans living there as well. They can't all be bad. Get that out of your head right now. Those people are not decent.
It's 9 p.m. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
So, you're the new knight I heard about. Glad to have you on the team.
In my experience, hotshots and big mouths.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom. All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there, people.
Proctor Ingram?
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
What do the actuators do?
Pretty simple, really. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in his limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
You think the Commonwealth looks bad?
here at Radio Freedom. Hope you're listening from a safe place. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Hear that? Is that you?
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there, people.
Let's play, little human. Goodbye, human. You will die well.
I find the quality of care this
Identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
Over here now. Beastly nuisance. Now that's done. It's just little old me. Nothing to be a thought of much. Nothing there after all.
Search. Intruder. Identify
This
yourself.
is Radio Freedom.
Identify
It's 4 a.m.
yourself.
All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there, people.
Please step into the open and identify yourself. Law-abiding. Going down. Nothing to fear. Basement.
That's it.
False alarm. Standing down.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates.
Let's dance!
Excuse me, should you be out of your room?
You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen alerts.
Found them and they do not look friendly. Oh, you're still here?
This is normal for other journalists.
Oh, lovely. The morgue. The things I'll do for a headline.
Hey.
Sure, take a peek.
It's 5 a.m. This is Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there. You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone. This is Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Stay safe, people. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
Going up. Second controller.
just little old me. It's just little
Going
old
up.
me. Indeed. Nothing to be afraid of.
Ground floor.
Thought as much. Nothing there after all.
Going down.
Be still, you
Basement.
stupid. And that's done with. Why not let the robot deal with it?
This area clear. Proceeding with search protocol. Going up. Area secure.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom,
Ground
voice
floor.
of the Minutemen. All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there, people. This is Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.